Hello there, people of the internet. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. I was in the market for just a cheap 380 handgun, and this right here definitely fit the bill. Originally I was going to get a high point, but they are just so goddamn ugly, so I think that this right here is an excellent alternative to getting a high point. This right here is a little Cobra 380. Oh, to be honest, I kind of thought about picking one of these up for quite a while now. I just never really went about doing so until my gun store had one at a pretty reasonable price. These right here are pretty cheap handguns. They're actually cheaper than High Point if you can find them at a decent dealership. This one right here is 2002 manufacturer, I believe. I did buy it used, although it still does look pretty much like new. Came with one magazine. Now this right here is just a cheapo handgun, so don't expect anything real significant with it. The trigger on it is halfway decent for what it is that, you know, this gun actually is. It is a straight blowback design, so the slide on it is quite heavy. Just like with the High Points, they're notorious for having heavy slides. That's because they're also straight blowback. The sights on it are actually not that bad, despite the fact that they're just kind of molded sights on the top of the slide. All in all, this right here is just a striker fire cheap 380 that I decided to get because I wanted a 380. My goal is to kind of get guns in popular calibers. Just have a collection of guns in popular, readily available calibers, and 380 is a very popular, very readily available caliber that you know, and I didn't have a 380, so I went out and I just got a cheap one to say that I have a 380. Now, I do have a couple observations about this thing that I'd like to make. If anyone is familiar with the term ring of fire, it basically, well, a ring of fire gun basically is a disposable handgun that was used or is used by, you know, various gangsters and professional criminals and whatnot that they can do their business with and then just throw away. This Raven 25 ACP is an excellent example of a ring of fire gun. The setup of this Cobra is very similar to this 25 ACP. This right here is looking at it, you can definitely tell the steps taken to make this as cheap as possible. And I imagine in a lot of instances this right here could be considered a ring of fire gun to be disposed of by criminal forces who just need to buy themselves a cheap handgun, take care of some business, and then get rid of it right on the spot. Now I do want to point out some similarities between these two guns and some differences, because why the hell not? Striker fire right on the back, silver and black. That's just the first thing that I noticed while I was looking at this. Same exact system. Internally, very similar systems as well. The safety right here on the sides, they operate the same exact way. They cut off the trigger right here on both guns. The magazine catch is different. This right here has the European heel magazine. This right here is a push button magazine. And the ejection port on the Raven is on the top versus the Cobra, which is on the side. However, they are both straight blowback, no locking lugs on the barrels, and they each have one magazine, but that's not important. You know, looking at it, the triggers are almost the same exact size. Huh, I wonder if they're interchangeable. I'm doubtful, but still, it would be interesting to figure out what in this gun I could use in this gun, but we'll figure that out later. Alright, we're going to take this Cobra out to the range. I have not shot a 380 in a long time, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. Today we are going to be running some Winchester 95 grain full metal jackets. We're just on the range, so I don't need any sort of special ammunition. Just this cheapo stuff will work to see how well the gun runs. Now the 380 round is a pretty small round. It's actually kind of dimpy. It's pretty much a smaller 9mm. Same diameter, but whenever you compare it to this 25 ACP right here, there's really it's only a little bit bigger than that 25 ACP. Let me see if I can find a 9mm to compare this to. Alright, the casing on the 9mm is different, but that's not going to be a problem for representation. The 9mm is a considerably larger bullet than the 380. They are the same diameter bullet, but the 9mm considerably larger by about, in this example, about 20 grains or so worth of bullet. But the case is also significantly increased as well, meaning that this right here is a bigger bullet with much more power behind it. Now the 9mm certainly is not a powerhouse like the 45 or 357 or 44, and there's many other handgun calibers that are significantly more powerful than 9mm, but it's not exactly a weak cartridge either. The 380 it's a gray area. It can be useful and it can handle your business, but it's not nearly as powerful as the 9mm. Only reason I got myself a 380 was because I do not have one. Well, I did not have one. I have one now. The 25 ACP, I wouldn't entrust my life to it. I probably wouldn't entrust my life to a 380 either. I would probably go with a 9mm. It looks like Kevin's gonna be a problem in this episode. He's bound and determined to be on my range. And those over there, those are Argos. That's an Avenger 8x8. Those are going to be my next adventure. I got to advertise those for my father. Look at him go. Completely aquatic, they float. Oh, it's going to be fun, but man, that's going to be a lot of work. One thing I would like to point out, as they play their music even louder in the background, knowing I'm over here recording, that's alright. No harm, no foul. Always be sure to inspect the quality of your ammunition whenever you're buying ammunition of any era. If you're buying military surplus, you especially want to check it out. But even with new manufacturer ammunition, you still want to check it out. And this is exactly why. I check my ammunition every time I shoot, just to make sure I'm not going to get myself hurt. This primer right here is only about, I'd say 3/4 complete. Definitely a factory defect there. If I tried firing this off, I'd get a bunch of back pressure right in my face, so I'm not going to shoot this round. You definitely want to pay attention to what you're firing. This right here is a prime example of exactly that. Also, there's one bullet right here that seems to sit lower than all the others, and I'm not entirely sure why. Let's see if it's just that slot. Let's see, let's take this bullet, stick it in there. Yep, it's sitting flush. Alright, so that's just the styrofoam. Alright, cool. But this right here, that's a serious problem. Don't want to fire something like that. Inspect your ammunition. Alright, now that the music has stopped, a few things to point out about this handgun. It does not have a magazine safety, and it says so right on the magazine itself. It is not equipped with a magazine safety. It will fire when the magazine is removed. Just a heads up if you decide to get yourself one of these. The safety right here not only prevents the trigger from being pulled, but it also stops the slide from being pulled back. So it's not only a safety, it is also a slide lock. Another interesting feature. The magazine capacity is 7 rounds plus 1 in the chamber of the gun, which I do not have right now, so you can relax. One thing I would like to point out is that with the width of this handle right here, you could definitely shove in a double stack magazine, and I don't know why they didn't do that. That would greatly increase the capacity of this 380, especially for the weight of the gun. You should have more than just 7 rounds in this thing, but it is single stack, so it is what it is. Clean the dust off of this thing. Now I know it's only a 380 round, but with the weight of the slide, I'm expecting this thing to be quite snappy as it flies back and forth, but there's only one way to really find out. And you really got to pull that slide back to get that thing to load. I was expecting this thing to be a lot snappier than it actually is and have a lot more recoil than it actually does. This thing is actually quite pleasant to shoot. Let's see, I got 5 rounds. It didn't lock open on an empty mag, but I mean, I guess technically it kind of did. Yeah, that's how that works. Well, it's a little 380 pocket pistol. I mean, that's about all I can say about it. Takes a lot to cock a thing, but it's comfortable to shoot. Seems like just on that last round of the magazine, but the spring on this mag ain't exactly the strongest. So, this last round of the magazine just doesn't feel like ejecting all that well. As far as having a comfortable gun to shoot, I don't think I've ever owned a handgun that was as comfortable to shoot as this thing. Sucks racking it, but once it's racked, it's very nice to fire. Well, that was fun. I got kind of sidetracked because my father decided to come out and shoot with me for a little while, so that killed probably about an hour or so. But this was fun. That was still just the first shots that I made on video. I brought on another gun to fire with him because I didn't know how well this one was going to work. I don't like the amount of tension it takes to cycle the slide. As you cycle it, once you get back to about right here, it's not so bad, but you got to go back just a little bit further to lock the striker and to cycle around. So that's a thing. That gun might not be that powerful, but man, it is comfortable to shoot. The ammunition is cheap and readily available. The wind is right in my camera. There you guys go. Hang out right there. I'd say for the money spent on that thing, it's a pretty nice gun. I mean, it's just a blowback 380, but the weight reduces recoil significantly. It's not hard to use. The fact that it's got an actual push button mag release versus the heel stop mag release, and I don't like those heel stops. They're just annoying to use. They're not difficult, but they do slow things down quite a bit. Alright, if you like this kind of content, mash that subscribe button. I do this kind of crap here all the time, as you can see from the condition of that car. It's been out there for quite a while. I'm not done shooting today, and it's 1,000,000,000 degrees outside, so I'm going to go hydrate. If you want to support, check out the Patreon page. I am finally making money off my Patreon page. I've only got one supporter, but I am finally making money off that Patreon page. I knew it would happen eventually. Not much, but that's enough. So I gotta dedicate a bullet to that Patreon, because that's one of the benefits of the tier. So give me just a second. Alright, buddy, you know who you are. This bullet right here is for you. $5 tier. Donate this bullet right here to him. Alright, I'm going to get up nice and close and personal so I make sure this shot does not miss. Donation's not big, but it means a lot. Alright, I got a bunch of video ideas, and having this 380 ACP is definitely going to come in handy, because I need this to fill in the gap between 25 ACP, 32, 380, 9mm, 45, and so on. We're going to be comparing some rounds. I think that'll be a lot of fun and give me a reason to shoot all these guns. So if you want to be around for that, mash that subscribe button, because I'm going to be doing that up next. I'm going to go put this away and grab my other gun. I had a great day. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a fantastic day as well.